Okay, let's solve a mystery. It's a case that millions of us face every single morning. The mystery of the stolen rest. You know the one. It's where you do everything right. You go to bed on time, you get a full 8 hours, and you still wake up feeling like you've been completely robbed of your energy.
So, does this sound familiar? You slam the alarm clock after what was supposed to be a full night's sleep, but instead of feeling refreshed, you just feel drained, foggy, totally exhausted. If that's you, trust me, you are so not alone. This feeling is incredibly common, and it actually has a scientific name. You know that groggy, don't even look at me until I've had coffee feeling? Well, that's called sleep inertia, and it's a real physiological state where your brain is kind of stuck between sleep and wakefulness. But when that grogginess lasts all day, that's a huge clue that something much deeper is going on.
All right, so let's officially open the case file on the restless sleeper mystery. We're going to figure out exactly why a full night in bed doesn't always equal a full night of rest.
And this is the absolute key to the whole investigation. The number of hours you clock in bed, that's only one piece of the puzzle. The real culprit we're hunting down is whatever is sabotaging the quality of your sleep, turning that precious time into, well, wasted time. So, it's time to bring in our prime suspect. We're looking for a silent thief, something that sneaks in at night and steals your rest without you even realizing it's there. And this particular suspect is shockingly common. And get this, the scale of this problem is just staggering. According to the Cleveland Clinic, a whopping 85 to 90% of people who have our prime suspect, sleep apnea, are just walking around completely undiagnosed. Think about that. That's millions of people who are exhausted every single day and have no idea why. So what is sleep apnea, really? It is so much more than just loud snoring. It's a condition where your airway literally closes up and you stop breathing. Your brain, of course, panics and jolts you awake just enough to gasp for air. This terrible cycle can repeat 15, 30, even more times an hour, all night long.
So, how can you spot this silent thief? Well, like any good mystery, you gotta look for the clues. At night, the obvious ones are loud snoring, or maybe even waking up choking or gasping for air. But the daytime clues are just as telling. That relentless fatigue, weird morning headaches, and even changes in your mood or your performance at work.
And this is a really important point from Dr. Foldavari Schaefer at the Cleveland Clinic. While no, not every single person who snores has sleep apnea, that snoring is very often the smoke that signals a much, much bigger fire. It's usually the first and most obvious sign that your breathing might be in trouble while you sleep.
But you know, this silent thief, it rarely works alone. It has an accomplice that I think many of us know all too well: stress. Let's take a look at how this partner in crime makes everything so much worse. Now, this chart looks at medical students, but honestly, it could be any of us living a busy, modern life, right? Just look at those numbers. Nearly 60% of them reported moderate to high levels of stress. That isn't some rare state of being. For so many people, that's just normal. And this is where it all connects. The research here is crystal clear. As people's perceived stress levels go up, their sleep quality goes way down. It creates this awful, vicious cycle. You're stressed out, so you sleep terribly, which then makes you more tired and, you guessed it, even more stressed. So, we've identified our culprits: sleep apnea and its accomplice, stress. But what exactly are they stealing from us every night? It's not just sleep in general. It's a specific, incredibly precious phase of sleep. Okay, quick sleep science 101. Every night, your brain cycles through 4 main stages. You start by getting drowsy, you drift into light sleep, and then you get to the really good stuff: deep sleep and REM sleep. Now, all of these stages are important, but the one that gets hit the hardest by our suspects is stage 3, deep sleep. And what's really wild is how little time we actually spend in this crucial deep sleep stage. For most of us, it's only about 10 to 20% of the entire night. That's a really small window, which makes it all the more devastating when it gets stolen. So why is this tiny window so vital? Well, think of deep sleep as your body's overnight pit crew. It's when you build and repair muscles and tissue. It's when you strengthen your immune system and regulate blood sugar. Your brain even uses this time to lock in memories and literally wash away toxic waste. When sleep apnea and stress constantly interrupt your night, this is the first thing to go. So the evidence is all there. The mystery of the stolen rest usually comes down to a critical lack of quality deep sleep, and it's so often caused by undiagnosed sleep apnea and stress. But here is the good news. This is a case you can absolutely 100% solve.
So what's your first move? It's actually really simple. Talk to your doctor. Mention the snoring, the constant fatigue, those morning headaches. From there, they'll take a detailed sleep history, and they might refer you for a sleep study to get a definitive answer. And once you know what you're dealing with, there is a whole toolkit of effective treatments. The CPAP machine is considered the gold standard, but there are also lifestyle changes you can make, custom-fit oral appliances, and even surgical options. The most important thing to remember is that sleep apnea is a highly treatable condition. You do not have to live with this.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? We spend so much time and energy focusing on what we eat and how we move, but sleep is the third, equally important pillar of our health. Neglecting it, it's like trying to build a house with only 2 foundation walls. Eventually, the whole thing is going to crumble.
So if you're one of the millions of people who feel robbed of rest no matter how long you stay in bed, the clues are there. The mystery can be solved. The only real question left is, isn't it time you started investigating your own sleep?